Welcome everyone to Livestream Reviews. I'm Christian Karasevich. I'm the content marketing manager at StreamYard, and I'm excited to have you here. Again, I love doing this show every single week. It's myself and Leticia Campbell, and again, our goal every single time is to help you improve your live streams. It's to help you become better streamers, whether that's helping you with equipment or learning how StreamYard works, for example, or hey, maybe I've got a challenge that I have with my broadcast, or I have a marketing challenge, whether it's, how do I get more people to tune into my live streams, or, how do I leverage my live streams with my email list and so forth. But I'm going to go bring on Leticia. Sorry for starting a few minutes late here. We were going over what we're going to talk about actually at the beginning of the show. And she also was, I think she was moving actually this past week. And so, again, like that's the thing, life gets in the way. And even though you're streaming, you still, you adjust. And so I'm going to go and bring on Leticia. Let's go ahead and kick things off. But while we're doing that, by the way, do us a favor, tell us where you're tuning in from. We want to hear from you. So Leticia, it's fantastic having you join us. I think you're on a hotspot, right?
Yes, I'm in a new location now and I absolutely love it. So that's why my background's a little bit different. We're going to make some updates very soon. So I'm so happy. I really am. Sometimes, when you're moving, it's like you said, Christian, this week was super hectic for me because mother of 5 kids. So everything does not happen in a sudden way, but I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. Yeah. And okay, before we started the show, you and I said, hey, we had some questions for our viewers, for everyone who's tuning in. Can you go and bring that banner up on what we're going to talk about real quick? And then
yes,
while she's doing that, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a link to to join us on screen. I noticed there's a few people that have questions. For example, I think Zan the man had a question. He had a question, I think, about doing screen sharing in StreamYard. So we definitely want to make sure we answer that as well. So I'm gonna let Leticia do that. And then if you want to join us on screen, all you have to do is just simply go to this link. The only thing we ask, by the way, is you come on, you tell us who you are, what your live stream is about. Let's also ask this question: how often do you live stream? And then let us know what your question is. And then what we'll do is we'll bring up your show and, kind of do a little critique of it, as much of it as we can, obviously.
Right.
Leticia, what was the question we had?
So the question we had today for you guys is, how are you guys improving your shows? Christian and I are definitely going to share with you some of what we've done throughout our career I do call it a career, our journey of streaming. And, I don't know, Christian, I know you was laughing at my voice clips last night that I sent you about. I was like talking about the whole football analogy, and I was getting confused with another sport. But how in football we have a touchdown, right? You play football and you go.
If you're in the States, by the way, if you're tuning in from the States,
if you're in the States,
American football, overseas, it's what? It's
soccer. Soccer. Yeah, but I'm talking about American football. But with football, hashtag Vikings. When it comes to live streaming and when we're looking at other people's shows, right? And you may see people with a nice mic or great sound quality or great camera quality, or just the background may be off the freaking chain. And so you're looking at theirs and you're comparing their touchdown, right, to your first half. Okay. Like, follow me here, guys. Right. So for some of you, you're just making like half, what is it, like first half by first half, right? That's what you need to be focusing on. It's like, how can you take your show and bring it to the next step? Like for me, last year when I first started, this year, I've improved my sound quality. So my mic sounds better. I use my lapel mic, which is attached to my collar here. And I also use my, regular mic. But that was one first down that I made. Okay, that's my first down. You know what I'm saying? Because you all have to get to your own individual touchdown, and you can't really compare what your touchdown is compared to somebody else, or you may be at your first half trying to compare your show to somebody else's touchdown. So we want to talk to you guys about that. Like, come on the panel and talk about your show, and maybe we could talk about what is your next step on your next, your next not touchdown, but the first half when to improve your show. I hope that's a good example.
I think it's a great. I think it's a great example. Again, I mean, everybody starts their live streaming journey at different points.
Right.
Everybody has, for example, some people have different budgets. Like for some people, they may get into live. Like I always use an example when I actually interview a lot of people, and we talk about how, for example, most of the people that I end up talking to, there's always some little thread that runs through what they're doing that really, makes sense for them to get into live streaming. For example, like a lot of people I have on, they're like former radio DJs, for example. So for them, it's as simple as like, hey, they just have to turn that camera on, and now they're live streaming. For other people, it's a whole career shift. For other people, like, if you have like, here's the thing. It's not about having the best equipment. The things that are the most important part about your live streams, obviously, it's the content.
Right.
It's the content. You could have the best message, but for example, like the only equipment really that plays into consideration there really is the audio and having good internet. But audio is key. So if you have good audio and your picture quality is not so good, people will they're forgiving. They'll tune in and still continue to listen. As long as they can hear it. But if the audio is cutting in and out, for example, it's pausing in the middle of things. They're not as forgiving for something like that. But you have to remember, you start your journey at a different point than everyone else. And so to Leticia's point, you don't have to get the most expensive things to start. You can let's make smart moves to get into live streaming, and then continue to build from there. So this is awesome. By the way, we got a lot of really great guests. It looks like a lot of people waiting backstage actually to join us.
Yeah, we do. So, we do.
Who do you want to bring on first, Leticia?
Let's bring on. Okay, yeah, E Black TV. He was on first.
Oh, and by the way, Adam's Exploits real quick says maybe try baseball next time. Get a single double. No. This is a very good example here. So when we talk football's moving like quarters for American football, moving quarters, for example. We talk tennis, what 15, 30, 40 game. We talk basketball, it's quarters. We talk college basketball, I think it's still halves. But we talk baseball, it's single, double, triple, home run. Great example, actually, because
I'll do that next time, Adam.
The first thing is you got to get to the plate. Second thing is you got to get on base. So how do you get on base? That could be a walk. It could be a single, for example. So at least you're now on the field. You're ready. You're in scoring position once you're on the base. Right. And then you're into a double, you're closer, a triple, home run, for example. And here's the thing. A lot of people, they aim for that home run to start and, love the ambition. But the thing is, you got to remember, everybody starts somewhere. And I'm seeing some great questions, by the way, from people who are about to join us on screen about that kind of thing, like navigating things like the Facebook algorithm and things like that. Those all play a factor in helping get your live stream more exposure. Okay,
exactly.
So who we're going to have join us first on screen?
We are bringing on E Black TV first.
Perfect. E Black TV. Right. Actually, I think he came on. I think he was on last week, actually.
Yes.
So let's go bring on. No, let's go bring him on. E Black. Oh, sorry. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I don't have any audio actually from you.
I don't hear him either.
Initially, it looked like his background was just like, remember, I think we had ATL car.
Yes, ATL, I remember that. Yeah.
That's who I actually thought, because his background looks exactly almost like
Yes. All right. We can't hear you. Check your audio. Check your audio.
All right. Hello?
Ooh, there you go.
Perfect. There we go.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure why my microphone all of a sudden just stopped working.
Okay, it happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My question. Oh, first of all, I love you guys, StreamYard. You guys are definitely one of the most supportive communities out there.
Thank you.
I really appreciate. I mean, I tune into all your content. I've got like a notebook full of stuff that I want to improve and whatnot. So I really thank you guys for opening up your community, because not a lot of communities do this.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime.
Or platforms, I should say.
So how can we help you? How about this? Okay, so what's your real name? So E Black TV, I assume, is your live show?
Yeah, that's well, my I go by E Black. That's what all my friends call me, but my real name is Ernest, if you want to know.
Very cool. Ernest, nice to meet you.
I found that some people are unwilling to kind of accept that.
Okay. Sorry.
But my question is probably the run of show process. you know, if you looked at one of my shows, I try to do the intro. I'm having trouble getting that timing down to where the intro, the countdown, and then it streams to me to introducing the show, and then and then once I go into bringing my guests up, sometimes I have problems where, like, one of my shows or my last live stream, I had 3 guests on, and I had to manually do that, and that was kind of awkward because I kind of, you know, I wanted them to all come up at one time, or kind of like I wanted the process to where I understand there is a solo process, but it, you know, I just kind of help me with that kind of process, because I've only been started a month ago, and I love the platform. I've suggested it to like at least 6 or 7 content creators, and a lot of the other people I'm on, they're doing it, but that run of show process, even the outro, I'm still kind of working on it. So, you know, if you guys have any suggestions on that.
Okay. So the first thing I'd say is this. So, and I'm over trying to bring up my screen right now so I can kind of show you how I do things. So give me 1 second. Leticia, do you have anything you want to advise on?
Well, how do you want your guests to be? Like, when they come on, do you want everybody to be Brady Bunch, or do you want it to where when somebody's speaking, you want them to be solo and everybody else will be off screen? Like, how do you want it to be? How do you want the flow to be?
I kind of I want it to be kind of like how your guys' show is, like everybody's Brady Bunch. Yes.
Okay. So what I've done here is I've brought up the StreamYard dashboard. So let me walk you through a couple of things. So this is how I do my run of show, by the way. So basically, what I do when I start is this: I will add myself to the stream. For example, like I know that I want to be on screen like this. Okay.
Yes.
Next thing I do is, for example, you guys see I always start like this. Then I turn my overlay on. Okay. And then at that point, I know my mic is hot at this point. Right now it's muted, obviously, because I'm in another studio. But I make sure that I'm in the stream, or anyone else I want in the stream is there and they're in the right position, for example. So I adjust the positions here. And then I put this overlay up. Okay. At this point, I hit go live. In this case, it just says record because I don't have any destination set, but I hit go live. I wait personally about 18 seconds. The reason I wait for about 18 seconds is so that it can get out to all the other platforms.
Right.
Okay. Now, once that's going, once it hits 18, I play this countdown timer. Okay. So this would come on screen right here. It would play over top of everything. Okay. And then once I hit that start on that, the only thing I do is I take this off. Now, here's the reason why. When this countdown timer finishes, I am now going to be on screen. Or, for example, if Leticia was in here or you were in here and I had everyone set up, we would all be on screen at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that actually makes sense, because I was having the timing issue between the timer hitting 0 and sometimes it'd be like that awkward hello.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is start with an overlay, do the video clip, and then what else? I'm sorry.
So add yourself to the stream. So get all your people set, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want, once the curtain comes down, i.e. the overlay, once the curtain is up, if you want, for example, 4 people on screen, you put all 4 people up.
Okay.
And then the only thing you may have to do, for example, is like you tell people their mics are muted, for example, or you can mute them. You should mute them. So mute them, for example, and just know, okay, when I bring the curtain up, I'm going to have unmuted everyone.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
And then, so overlay is up. I play the video. I wait about 18 seconds. I wait about 18 seconds. I then play the video. And then while the video is playing, I can turn this overlay off. I'm not going to be on screen. The video is still going to play. And then when the video finishes, it fades into me or the 3 or 4 of us, whoever is on screen.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
And that's simple for you. That's something that you can do on a consistent basis. And later on, and this is where we're talking about what our topic for today, if you decide to like pivot a little bit, change some things, tweak some things, you may want to do that. So definitely that's the way Christian just showed is definitely very good.
Right. Right.
So that's what I do. Is, did you have another question for us, or?
No, that was really it. I've been having like I have like my last stream. I literally have like 2 seconds of me kind of clicking, looking at the screen, and I've noticed that I've been just having that problem. Like, okay, what's the good timing? But that was a good suggestion, having the overlay. I didn't really think about that, having the overlay, then starting the broadcast, and then starting the thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all practice. Seriously, it's all practice. I mean, I'm nearing on one of my own one show that I do. I'm nearing 300 episodes. And that's over like almost 7 years, I think. So here's the thing though. That's just one episode. And so the thing is, it's practice. Do I get them wrong? Sometimes I do, actually. Sometimes I miss a cue, but it comes with practice.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And by the way, if you're not part of our Facebook group, do us a favor. If you want to just head over there and join our Facebook group.
Yes.
Excellent Facebook group.
I'm part of that. I'm part of that group.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
I like I said, I am a StreamYard groupie right now. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Anytime. And one last piece of advice for you, by the way, IPS Learning Institute says, I usually have someone else run the back end, meaning the production, because my brain can't shift it smoothly. Again, that's something to consider. Like if you're, if you've got a lot, like if you complicate your show or you make it complicated, you may want to have a producer help you. And that could be, for example, a friend. It could be, if you have a child that wants to learn how to do streaming. I mean, you could
kids are really good with it.
Well.
You'd be surprised.
Just some stuff to keep in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they don't have to run the whole show. Like when you think of producers, sometimes they just do the first half. You know what I mean? They'll do the intro, they do the overlay, then they cue you guys to get on, and then that's it. And then you can give them more responsibilities later on as you get a flow going, because then you have the comments, then you may want one of your guests want to share their screen, so you could build up on it.
Okay. I consider it. My daughter's a little 6 years old, so she's.
You'd be surprised. Yes.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to her using the iPad. So it's.
Oh my God, my kids can't live without an iPad.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you very much for joining us, Ernest. Okay. Bye.
That was good.
That was
awesome, good. Yeah.
By the way, Ernest, if you're, I think he dropped off. I did pull up. I think I pulled up his YouTube channel. Actually, yes, this is his channel. So if you want to check out, this is Ernest's channel.
Yeah, check that out, guys.
I just dropped that a link to that. That's his channel as well, by the way. Yeah. So looks again, he's just getting. I don't use the journey thing real quick. I mean, he's just getting started on his journey. So just again, I mean, it takes time. So it's not like you could start like some people might hit it out of the park like with that first one, but for everyone who hits it out of the park, there's others that it does take time depending on your topic, your audience, your content. So okay, Leticia, who do we want to bring on next?
We have Craig next.
Craig, you good to go? Give us a thumbs up. Awesome.
Looking
so here's
good.
Craig. Craig, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Got a very nice mic, I hear.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about that probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge audiophile, so it's very important to me to have good audio quality, maybe even more important than visual quality.
That's right.
Definitely. So is that a real background or do we have the
No.
Okay.
I can't afford all that stuff.
Okay.
I'll show you where I'm actually sitting.
Wow.
Look at this.
Sitting behind a drum set. So this is my little Stream Deck and my laptop up here. But
nice.
I make it look like I'm sitting in a nice, big, expensive studio.
No, it's very good, actually. Very good. No,
really
and then you
good.
got the t-shirt. You got the Ramones t-shirt on as well to also kind of add to that, that visual like style that you're going for. So you're in a recording booth, for example, with Ramones t-shirt. And
yeah. So just to give you a bit of our background,
sure.
I mean, I came across StreamYard about a year ago on my constant journey for improving our show. But we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary live stream this past Wednesday. We've been live streaming for 4 years.
Nice.
And we're musicians. So the big thing for me is I wanted to bring all the tools that a lot of gamers and other content creators were bringing with live stream tools and technology. And I wanted to bring that to musicians. So my wife and I started this live stream, and we wanted audio and great music and musical guests to kind of be at the forefront, and audience interactivity. And when StreamYard came by, I couldn't believe having the ability to bring in audience comments was a no-brainer for us, and it elevated our game big time. But one of our current problems is currently it's reach. You know, we're just a small, we're just a couple of us. As you can see, I run everything from behind a drum set. It's just me. I'm the audio engineer. I'm the videographer. I'm a co-host. So typically the scene would look like this. My wife would set the piano over there.
Actually, I pulled up your channel, by the way. So I got your channel, and I'm like, oh, that looks exactly like the ones I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're currently trying to figure out how to improve our reach. That's kind of been our biggest problem, is navigating this constant change to how Facebook puts content in front of viewers. You know, first of all, live stream was the way to go. So pre-recorded videos were trumped by live streams. So, you know, live stream was a natural place for us to hang out. And then it became groups. It was pages, and it became groups. And then now it's hard to figure out the best way to reach an audience. And what we found personally, and I don't know if this is best practice, but I'm bringing it to you guys because I'm sure that you have heard it all. So for us, we schedule all of our live streams with StreamYard, which is super easy, super fantastic. And we used to be able to pre-schedule those streams, and then that announcement post would go live to a video post, and no one had to click watch now. That's now changed. And now folks have to take that additional step to click watch now. And that changed our engagement significantly at that time. Instead of just a video being live in people's feed as they're scrolling, they see watch now if I've shared that announcement instead of seeing a live video. So we've gotten the habit now of hitting go live early ahead of that scheduled time, and then sharing the dickens out of the actual live video, and hope people forget about the announcement post shares from a while back. So that's where we're struggling with, is what's the best practice for reaching the most people and building an audience for us.
So Leticia, I'm gonna let me go and actually first, Craig, let me go and bring up your
let's bring up the channel first
so people can see this. So this is his channel, by the way. So this is and I got the right one, right, Craig?
Well, our primary platform is Facebook. We just
so you're primarily on Facebook. Okay.
Yes, we're primarily on Facebook. So that you don't see a lot of views there because we just post it as an archive for folks who like YouTube.
Very cool. Okay, so let's talk about that. Why is the primary platform Facebook over YouTube?
Well, a bit of it is just the story of why we started the show. We're both Maritimers from the east coast of Canada, where the kitchen party is a real thing, and that's daily life for anyone who gets together out in the east coast. Everybody brings an instrument. It's a social event. And we moved to Ontario near Toronto a number of years ago, and have found it very challenging to stay in touch with our family and musical friends out east. So we found Facebook as the easiest platform because we were already connected with a certain number of people who we knew would be an audience for what we wanted to do. And we never really kind of figured out the secret sauce of how to engage people on YouTube. So it's been kind of stagnating. We just post the content after the fact to YouTube. I put some tags on there and I leave it.
Okay.
And we don't really promote that.
Okay. Leticia, what do you want to add? Anything first?
For you right now, do you have some type of text list, or that people can join, so when you do go live, they'll get notified on hey, you're live? I know you mentioned you go live a little bit early, maybe 5 minutes early, but still, is there something that you send out, a blast, everybody know that, hey, we're live and get on right now?
Yeah, there was a tool that we used a while ago. It was some kind of automation tool that I got from the Prepared Performer. My gosh, I'm ruining her brand name because I'm forgetting how it's called.
Okay.
But it was an automated tool that would send out notifications to
like a chatbot.
Yeah, a chatbot. Yeah. And then all of a sudden there were then changes in the rules in the background of how chatbots
I know, I wouldn't even mess with
I fell off that.
Yeah, I would maybe look into something like maybe a community.com or one of those services to where for your show, you could tell your listeners, your viewers to join your text list and what have you. I do think that you should start to push the traffic to YouTube, because YouTube is its own internal community in a sense. And people go on YouTube for watching, videos. And it's sort of since you already have an audience on Facebook, like pivot them over to YouTube. So now more people are watching your channel. YouTube can suggest your channel to more subscribers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, where do you want to go with it?
Yeah, I got to take that first step, right? Because, I mean, I know for a couple of our anniversary episodes, we've co-streamed to YouTube. So we've only been live on YouTube maybe, 3 or 4 times. And I just have no idea how to begin that engagement piece and have people more likely to join us. So is it, how do you reach those people proactively rather than, setting your categories and your tags to try to attract the right people or people who like similar channels? Yeah, I just didn't even know where to start to kind of make sure that when you do go live, like who's going to see that? Like whose streams or feeds is it going to show up in besides people who have subscribed?
Part of it's going to be like, title, description, tags. Like, I mean, some of that stuff is important. The things that are key, like the tags, not as important.
Okay.
Title, thumbnail are going to be very important. Like the title and the thumbnail, because they're going to get people to go watch, for example. So, for example, like you'll see like our title of this show is not just live stream reviews. It's free live stream reviews, improve your live show. Right. So people are seeing what they're going to get.
It worked.
Exactly. No. So part of it is like that hook. It's the thumbnail that they're going to see, and it's the title they're going to see to then get into it in the description. The tags obviously are there, like in case YouTube doesn't understand something, the tags are there for that sort of thing.
Right.
In terms of just going live, again, I mean, it's similar to Facebook in the fact that you still have to go engage with people. So, go and comment on other videos, for example. Like if you're not being seen by other people, or you're a brand new channel, go and engage with other people. That way you can at least get your name out there a little bit. And then in terms of the content, that's another thing. You have to look at like what makes the most sense. So for example, it may not be just streaming all the time. You also there's different approaches to that. One could be, let's upload some pre-recorded video to the channel, things that people are always going to be looking for. For example, for example, like I'm going to assume you play the drums.
Yes.
I haven't watched it. Okay. So I'm just going to assume you play the drums. So for example, you could always start out with some pre-recorded videos of explaining, for example, stuff that I'll tell you right now, stuff that I don't know, like what are the different names of the different types of drums, for example, or, things like you have to kind of look at who your audience is, right? So that might be a way to get people into like seeing your content, your pre-recorded content. And then as you're going live, then it becomes part of the process. So for example, if you're uploading a pre-recorded video, hey, here's how to get started. Like I'll give you an example. Here's how to get started on the drums in 5 minutes, for example. And I know it doesn't take 5 minutes. It takes a lot longer than that probably. But, something like that would get people into watch your pre-recorded video. And then maybe you have something where, what your live stream is about. Hey, don't forget, we also do a live show on X day of the week. Be sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video so that you get notified about our future videos. Does this make sense?
Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons, like the barrier for entry for me for pre-recorded stuff is the time it takes. This is why I love living in the live stream space.
Right.
I have my little stream deck. I push buttons. I produce it as I go. And when we're done, it's done. But anything that's pre-recorded, it's just carving out that time to produce video content that's pre-recorded. I find takes so much more time. So maybe it's just me. But yeah, maybe you know what? We have had a couple of pre-recorded stuff, and we've had some pretty great engagement. I know on our Facebook channel, we typically get between 1,000 and 2,000 views per episode, and they're about an hour and a half episodes. But we, when we do pre-recorded stuff that's shorter, like a 4-minute video, we were up to like 2,000 within a day. So, but it's just a lot more time to make that stuff. But if that's so important, it can be worthwhile, I guess, right?
That's right. And I totally get that. I totally get that. But and also, since you already are streaming on Facebook, like, do you ask your viewers to tag as well? Like, I know like the people who are watching probably have 3 to 10 people that will also enjoy your show. Are you asking the people who are viewing to tag?
So it's an interesting question. Again, getting back to the whole navigating Facebook algorithms is a while back. I remember seeing some Facebook developer update that came out that said something about an algorithm that they were listening for audio to see if people were using the words please like, share, and subscribe and that kind of stuff, and we're putting those videos lower down on the list. So we stopped telling people to tag, like, and share, and everything we're hoping for is organic.
I mean, I mean, you could change it. Like, obviously, if tag is one, I know what you're talking about. So if tagging is one of those words, like you can say, hey, add someone in the comments that you feel like do a word. Like, I know I don't say share anymore. I say pass this on. I get what you're saying. Like, I had a whole list of words that you couldn't say on Facebook. I don't know if
the monitor.
I don't know if that's still even valid anymore. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think it was like back in 2018, 2019, where but I don't think, like, I know, like, if you say the C word, which I'm not going to say here, or the P word, you know, you get that little, like the other day, I got that little caution thing, like, oh, this content may be, you know, so I don't say those words anymore. But, but yeah, it's always a workaround. It was a workaround word.
I get you 100%.
Yeah.
So basically asking folks to tag their friends, which some people do organically, but we've never actually gone out and said to people, hey, tag somebody you think you might like to tune in.
Or pass this on. Pass this broadcast on, you know.
And I mean, a couple other little points here. I mean, so you can try to tell people, like, you know, hey, like, you know, pass this on, share it, etc. But I still want to go back to what Leticia said earlier, which was, you know, you said a texting list, like, so for example,
I would do a text list if I were you, for sure.
I'll take it back even a step further. A lot of people, you know, like you've heard about email lists. I mean, but you should be trying to build an email list.
That's true. You can build an email list from the text. So when they get that first text, hey, click this link, get inside my email list. So that way you can, you know, maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel, or I have a concert I did last year to show you, or something like that. So now you got their phone number and their email address. So you're really like connecting with them in two places.
I'll use it for good, I promise.
And here's the other thing I want to say, like, and I realize you said, you know, hey, creating pre-recorded video takes extra time. It does. But I also would say this, it also depends on what the content is you're putting out there. So some stuff is going to work well for live, you know, and if, for example, it's like trying to, like, you know, for example, if I want to go, if I want to put on a show, I can't just like if I just go to like somebody else's, like, you know, establishment and play there, like, okay, so I'm gonna, like, and nobody knows me, for example, I'm gonna get, you know, a little small bump in like viewers, you know, and people attending, right? However, if for example, like if I then add to that mix and I said, okay, let me do some promotion as well, you know, you start to like snowball all of this. And, you know, and so like if I don't do anything, I'm only going to be relegated to like usually what that audience size is. People that do know me where I'm at. So I think in your case, I mean, again, you're going to want to, like, I would experiment. So I'm not saying, oh, well, all of a sudden, let's start doing a pre-recorded video every single week. Let's start thinking monthly. Like, okay, every single month, if it takes you a long time to do a pre-record, like, so start to script out your pre-record, publish maybe one a month, see how that impacts your videos, and then start to build from there.
Yeah. I'm even starting. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Christian.
No, go ahead.
I'm even starting to like even pre-record, like just in one day, like literally putting 10 different shirts on my bed, you know, boom, changing clothes, hitting the record button, and just, you know, streaming it that way, you know, just bang it out in one day.
And I actually love the idea of batching content, as Leticia mentioned. I do that, for example, for a podcast I record. So
yeah, and it's easy for you guys because y'all can just wear one T-shirt and, you know, make 50 videos. You know?
Well, with me, normally nobody sees what I wear because this is all they see of me. I don't ever do a full screen view of me when we're doing it.
Oh, wow.
How
do you get that white banner around? Like, you see how he has that white outline?
So I've been using OBS since day one, June 2017, and I absolutely love it, and I can't live without it.
Yeah. Very cool. So so that's what I'd start with. I mean, again, like every platform has algorithms. So Facebook's got an algorithm. They change it all the time. They change what you can say, what you can't say, you know, and you kind of just have to, like, again, it comes back to, it's not to say the content's bad, by the way. It comes back to the content. But there are things you're going to want to do to promote that, to get it out there. And I think the first place I would start is that email list. Try to build an email list.
You have to.
You know, and then that way people, like, you can use that as your gateway to then get them into, you know, your live shows, for example. And then if you publish say you publish a pre-record, hey guys, just want to let you know we did something special, something different this time. We dropped a pre-record. You can go check it out here. Would love your feedback, something to that effect. So then that will get people to go see that. And then, if YouTube, for example, sees that, YouTube might say, oh, well, hey, your channel's getting, you tend to be getting, much higher engagement on this video than normal. Let's show this video to other people on other videos they're watching.
Yeah.
That way you can, again, they're algorithms.
That's
You're going to have to deal with them.
And how you fight against the algorithms is, like Christian said, doing that email list. This is why I tell my clients all the time. It's like, even for YouTube, even for Facebook, people could be friends with you or people could be subscribed to you, but they may not have their notifications on. Me personally, I don't even have my YouTube notifications on all the time. I would turn it off. But when I send, like, you send somebody an email saying, hey, here's the link to the Facebook live, or this is the link to the YouTube show, and they get that, 9 times out of 10, they will click on it and they will watch. So even if they have their notifications off, you get what I'm saying? Go ahead, Christian.
I was gonna say, I like Adam's Exploits comment here. It takes them on average 2 to 3 hours to do a live stream between planning, pre-show, and the live stream.
Yes.
I strongly believe I'm stuck with views because I don't do recorded content.
Right.
That is one thing. I mean, you can go live. Exactly. So I have a challenge for you then.
That is so true, Adam.
The challenge would be, okay, so like July is coming up, right? Next week. Plan out okay, how often are you going live right now?
Who, me?
Yes.
Sorry. Didn't know if you're still talking to Adam. We've been going live every week on Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for 4 years.
Okay.
Every week. Okay.
Every week. We only take breaks during the summer for some vacation and over Christmas.
Okay. So 4 to 5 times a month. Okay. So let's say for July, beginning of July, let's try to incorporate a pre-recorded video. And by the way, you can record that in StreamYard, by the way, too. So
that's
right. StreamYard,
oh, yeah. I use the record function a lot.
Awesome. So try to do one pre-recorded video in addition to your lives. And then let's see how and see how that goes. Like, report back. Seriously, you can tag me in a post. You can be like, hey, Christian, here's the pre-recorded video that I did for July. Let me know what you think about it. I'm more than happy to take a look at it. But let's try to do one and then see how that works. See if that influences your numbers.
Yeah. One of the things I've been thinking about is because I've been trying to assist as many musicians as I can throughout COVID over the past year. Because most of my community friends are all musicians and they didn't know what to do because they all lost their jobs and haven't been able to do anything. My wife included, she hasn't been able to work. She's a piano and voice teacher. She hasn't worked now in 15 months. Was to try to help other musicians learn and to navigate the modern world of live streaming and how they can perhaps bring their music to the audience. So I've been thinking about doing maybe some pre-recorded videos of how to help musicians get started.
Okay, and start a playlist. Yeah,
I've been helping them by doing remote producing of them of their live streams through StreamYard, and that has been very beneficial. I've had a lot of great feedback from musicians. I just say, hey, here's the StreamYard link. Give them the guest invite. Boom, they're on the show. I take care of everything, and they love it. And I was hoping to maybe create some content basically geared towards musicians to help them get over that hump and get them into either live streaming on their own or having somebody remote produce their live streams so that they can engage with their audience and hopefully encourage them to get back out and see them play live when they're back.
That's good.
Performing live. So
and here's the thing that also right there, for example, that's where I would even consider making a pre-recorded video off of something like that.
Yes.
Like teaching somebody.
I was thinking about that for a long time, but maybe that's the most logical step for me to delve into some pre-record is to have a very specific theme around musicians and live streaming and kind of helping like how-to videos and tips and tricks for musicians doing.
Because here's the thing, that because you mentioned this, you mentioned that like how people are looking for this sort of thing, so it makes sense to do that.
Yeah,
and then that's a way and then you sort of are supplementing all of that. So for example, if you're doing your own live shows, you're playing, but then you're supplementing with the teaching aspect. I think then when you bring them together, people are saying, well, hey, you know what? They aren't just playing music. They're also teaching. Wow. They're actually really good instructors as well.
Yes.
And that can become a lot more than that. So that's where I'd start.
I love that idea, Christian. I like that a lot, that analogy.
What other questions do you have? Anything else we can answer for you?
No, I feel like I've monopolized a lot of your time because I know there's lots of
It's
other
fine.
folks that have been waiting in the wings to get on here and talk to you guys. Because I've been meaning to do this on a Saturday for so long. I always get so busy, and by the time I tune in, it's too late. So I really want to thank you guys for letting me hang out here. And please, if you ever hear from any musicians through the StreamYard community that kind of have any kind of questions, feel free to send them my way. I get a lot of joy in helping share that knowledge with that community. It's just been really good for me. I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to work through COVID. I did not lose my job. I'm actually a veterinarian by day, and I was able to keep working. And I know that, and a lot of people haven't. And it makes me feel like I can finally do something if I can help some folks who I know have been kind of struggling through all this. So anyway,
right.
Awesome.
Thanks for the tips. I'm going to have to go rewatch some of it. That link, you said community.com or something like that. There was a link. Hopefully I can get that from you at some point for the text list.
Here,
it's just community.com. That's all.
Okay.
Community.com.
Okay, good. I already remembered it.
And there's others, but that's the one that I use myself. But it is a bunch of others you can look into. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you very much for joining us, Craig.
Thank you. Have a great Saturday, guys.
You too.
Right.
Bye.
Christian, if you don't. Oh,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I really want to bring up Flash in Your Pan comment here. He said content gurus can be real confusing when you watch too many. Pick a couple and stick to them. That is so true. Like I had to really even go stop watching certain people because it does get information overload. And a lot of times we can sit back and watch other people talk about, content and streaming and equipment, and we just don't do nothing because it's just information overload. So I like that he brought up that point.
And action is key, by the way, too.
So yes,
that's the same thing. Like if you listen to any, people telling you about different tactics or techniques or things like that. For example, you sort of have to it's like, okay, you allow a certain amount in, and then you have to shut it off. And then you have to actually, so once you shut it off, then you need to actually go back and take action on the thing you found useful versus consume.
And it's just to piggyback off of what you just said. If you're watching and you're not implementing at the same time, just like you said, Christian, that's when we get information overload because you're taking so much in and you're not letting it out. Because sometimes somebody can give you advice and it may not work for you, but then you'll listen to somebody else and you're like, okay, that's working for me. But if you're listening to too much of both and not taking action, then guess what? You're not going to hit that go live button ever.
Absolutely. No, this is very good points. So I'm just reading through all the comments, by the way. By the way, Truth Guitar Method saying, hey, my microphone's still misbehaving that he had. For those of you tuning in just now, I think it was before Father's Day. He was actually saying, hey, he could get his wife to get him a new microphone or something. I think that's where we're at. So again, if you ever have any mic issues, a couple things I'd always recommend before going out and buying another mic. Unplug everything, restart your internet, restart your router, restart your computer, unplug everything. And for example, just connect it one by one. So for example, if the audio is where you're having issues, unplug everything, get your mic working, and then plug in, other things as well to go along with it. And that way you can pinpoint where that problem is at. Chances are the cable is going to be the issue just about every single time. It's usually the cable. And cables, by the way, they do go bad. They don't cost a lot of money to replace. For the most part, but they do go bad. So always try to keep, two on hand, one there, to use, and then one in the off chance that it happens to break. You always will have access to another one.
Right. I love my lapel mic. I've been using that for a couple of weeks now, so I don't have to carry around that big old mic that I use. But I always say it depends on what you guys feel comfortable with as well when it comes to mics. Like, do you like to be more free and move around, or do you like that standalone option?
Definitely. Yeah. And by the way, if you do happen to have a question, by the way, you could always just put in, you could come on screen with us, but you could also just put in, if it's a feature request, just put #feature or #ask in the comments. And I'm looking for those, by the way. So Leticia, who do you want to bring on next?
Jim is up next, actually.
Okay. Let's bring on Jim. Jim, you ready? Perfect. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I just want to mirror the first person eBlack TV sentiment. I love the accessibility of you guys. You know, we've been using StreamYard for about a year. I'm a producer of a show. I don't actually host the show, but I'm a producer of a show called Adam versus the Man. Yeah, and we stream on we stream to 7 different places at once every day. We do 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. It's a news show, and we give a libertarian take on current news articles, things like that. You know, so I don't really have a question on the production because I feel really comfortable with StreamYard, and I've been like while he talks, I'll bring the video of what he's talking about up so that he's right here and it's right here, and he has fun pointing at the graphics while he's talking and stuff like that. You know, so StreamYard's great, and I'll be really quick. My only question is, I want an audio soundbite clip. Like on the right, you can upload video clips so that you can play something and it'll take over the screen for a second and it'll automatically disable itself and go back to the person. I'd like to be able to have my host doing the show and I could just play a quick 2-second soundbite or even up to a 30-second soundbite. I want to be able to upload audio files to be able to play over the top, so it doesn't interrupt the show, but it's just a soundbite. You know what I mean? If he says something funny, I can go wah wah. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, little sound bites.
Fantastic. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a note. I'm so sorry if I'm not making eye contact with you right now. I'm over here making notes. So you want to be able to. Okay, so you want describe what you want exactly.
Soundbite upload section. Audio soundbite, like the video clips, but just audio only.
Okay, so like
upload audio files,
like under the brands tab.
Yeah,
or under brands and also under share. So once be able to upload audio soundbites to the brands tab.
But can he get like a switcher or something, Christian, or no? Or because he's the producer, so it wouldn't work.
You could do a couple things. You could actually use a mixer. So if you got a mixer that happens to have like, for example, I've got a Rodecaster that has sound pads on it. There's the Zoom PodTrack P8. Those you would be able to use. I'm just giving you some feedback. You could use hardware if you want to. If hardware is not going to work for you, I'm also making a note of this, by the way, as a feature request. So
awesome.
Because I realize you also want to then have it in the studio versus having to have the hardware.
I thought about actually adding like a website soundbite. They have websites with different soundbite buttons you can use and everything. But our show, I literally have 30, and maybe I just need a better computer is what it boils down to. But I'll have like 30 tabs open. So trying to work another website and work that into, you know, it starts taking a second to load it, and the sound bites don't hit the timing I want them to hit.
Right,
you know?
right.
You could also do this. You could also use there are sound bites for your phone. You could get like an app called like Backpack Studio, and that does have a sound pad option. So you could then potentially route that through your computer as well. Just throwing that out as an idea.
Oh, okay. But then would that be, because I'm backstage and the host of the show is the one that's up, so my audio isn't picked up. You know what I mean? Let's see. So sorry to be so random on you today.
Like other people may have the same question. Like, this is good.
I mean, if you're coming in as the producer, you should be able to route it into the broadcast if you're in as the admin, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So that should work. And then, I mean, the other thing is you may need to use a virtual cable option, like a voice meter if you're on a PC, or loop back on a Mac. Those are going to give you the ability to route your audio. Like you'll be able to route your system audio into your browser audio, for example, and then everything can basically pipe into the one feed that goes in.
Right. Okay. Okay. I can look into that. If we got time, I won't take too long. I got 2 other really quick questions. One, we don't schedule the broadcasts. We're all there and ready at 8 a.m. every morning, and we click go live, and I go through the motions to bring them on screen. And we try our best to stop the episode at 2 hours exactly, but it's so hard because when you hit end broadcast, there's a little bit of a delay. So there's some timing involved, and I'm always either a second before or a second after the 2 hour mark. Is there any way to like, once you click go live without scheduling the show, is there a way to make sure it ends right at 2 hours, or is that just, that's nothing really. I'm just wondering.
I was gonna say, to me,
that
like, would
this
actually
goes dark.
Like,
yeah,
I think like it's worth trying to stop it, but I don't think that. I think it comes down to internet, because sometimes, like, I know sometimes I'll hit the end broadcast button and like it'll end immediately, and then other times I'll do it and it might actually, like, sort of delay a little bit, and I won't hit the exact mark. So I mean, again, also, here's the thing, let's look at it realistically. If it goes over by like a second or two, does that matter? Like, how much of a big deal?
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's a good feature request, actually, to be able to stop the broadcast automatically, maybe. So
I've seen somebody do something really cool. I mean, I wouldn't do it for my show, but they had like a end of show countdown. So it will say show ending in 5 minutes, and the countdown will go, and then that's when like the guests would know, okay, let's wrap it up. So where can somebody find you on social media? Oh, if you could just your last talking point. What is your last talking point you want to talk about? And the viewers can see the countdown that the show is going to be over in 5 minutes. So that's when they'll put on their banners of their websites and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if that would be a good recommendation for you or not. So that way people,
no, I like that. Yeah, because the host is actually always leans in to see the little timer on the live stream when he's ending the show. So that's actually a good idea. We might just put a little stylistic clock up there to let everybody know we only got 5 minutes left, because we have some co-hosts also that we cycle through and pop up on screen and in and out.
And then you have
they would know too.
You also have you also have like the banners show up for the websites and where can you find people and all that stuff, so the viewers know where do we go next from this show.
Sure.
I mean, just a suggestion.
Last question. I don't know if you know anything about a platform called D Live. But we get a lot of viewers that are wondering if we can stream there, and I haven't figured out how to be able to stream to D Live in addition to YouTube, etc.
You can stream to D Live. So it has to be added as an RTMP.
RTMP, yeah.
1 second, actually. So I actually have a blog post on this as well. So I'm going to just pull this up real quick.
Oh, perfect.
I'll show you the article. Here's something. I'm going to show you the article, and then what we'll do also is so I'll show you the article, and then I'll just drop a link to that in the description here. So this is the article. So this is on StreamYard.com/blog, by the way. And pretty much the gist is you just have to get the you pretty much just have to go and get the RTMP URL and the stream key basically from D Live. And then you bring those into your StreamYard dashboard. And then as you do that, they're going to become destinations that you can pick.
Gotcha.
As simple as it is. So pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I love StreamYard because they made everything so easy, but that was just one level too technical for me. I was like, well, I don't know what an RTMP is. I'm lost.
You got to learn that as a producer. Gotta learn it.
I got a lot of other stuff going on too. I'm a director of a nonprofit. I DoorDash.
Because you may get clients that want to stream on Amazon Live and all these other. So you, definitely make that top priority.
For sure. So definitely.
And speaking of RTMP, by the way, also we have an article as well on RTMP for those of you who want to stream to different destinations. We have a great guide on what RTMP is actually. So I'm going to just put that in the comments as well, by the way.
Awesome. Perfect.
Bam.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you guys very much. Lastly, just a comment. I didn't know about the Facebook group, so I'm going to go ahead and join that. You'll have one more person.
Yes, guys, get in the Facebook group.
I'm dropping more links, by the way. Just link happy today. Drop them. Join the free our free Facebook community. Again, I mean, you don't have to. Here's the thing. You can come there and you can ask StreamYard questions, for example. You can come there and you can ask questions about, like, what I need. Like, for example, if you want to join us on how to ask how to set up D Live, for example, you can go there. There's also some great posts in there with a lot of StreamYard tips and tricks from other users. We also are doing something called office hours once a week. I think it's once a week. We're doing office hours and that's exclusive to the Facebook group. So we'll actually go through and answer some questions there as well. But fantastic having you join us for live stream reviews and also for joining the Facebook group. I appreciate it, Jim.
Awesome. You got it. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like your beard. Yes.
Okay, so Let me answer a couple more questions, by the way. And
yes.
Leticia, I'm at about the 12:30 mark in terms of questions. So I'm about 30 minutes behind on questions. But let me just check these out real quick, see if there's anything.
Oh, we
there.
are. Okay, let me
okay, so here's a question. When I try to use OBS as a virtual camera to StreamYard, there's lag and sometimes your audio is null. Okay, so for when you're using a virtual camera, you got to remember that's going to tax your system even more. So you're going to have, so for example, I think the answer to your question would be, or at least my question would be, what kind of computer are you using? Because if your computer doesn't have enough resources, you're pushing from one heavy application over to the browser. And so there can be an issue there in terms of like it running slow because your system may be running out of the resources it needs. It may not have enough, for example, it may not be enough video RAM. Video RAM is what's displaying that picture. So for example, if you're trying to stream at, 1080, for example, and, or even if you're even trying to stream like, 4K, 1080, etc., and your computer, for example, doesn't have enough memory for the video, because there's video RAM and there's actual regular RAM on the machine, that can actually cause delay because it doesn't have enough to work with. So you have to kind of think about something like that. That can cause your delay there. In terms of your audio, you want to just make sure you're routing the audio properly. So sometimes the audio may not be routed properly from OBS into StreamYard. So you want to check that out. Check your OBS audio and then bring that over into StreamYard, because then in StreamYard, all you should have to do is go select the virtual camera options and obviously adjust the audio there. So let's see what else we got here.
I like how you guys are helping each other out in the comments as well. I see a lot of questions and you guys are answering the questions as we're going along with the show. Go ahead, Christian.
Will StreamYard give an option to automate comments to show without clicking on them every time? I know that we get that feature request a lot. Gosh, and my answer to that is I can put it on as a feature request. I know a lot of times we do things to, like, for example, if you just have all the comments come in, if you have regular broadcasters tuning in, like, yeah, that would make sense to put them on a trusted list. But then what are you going to do with all the other people? Are you going to still have to bring the comments into the broadcast if they're not on that list? And if it's live, you're going to have, a list of people here, a list of people in there, and you're going to have to figure that out during the stream.
It's going to be more stuff on your screen.
Let me actually make a note of that, and we'll see if we can't get that working. Okay, Leticia, are there any other comments you want to bring up, by the way?
I see a question from Kimberly. She asks, how can I share a picture during a StreamYard live, but exclude the tab and only show the image/picture that I'm sharing?
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me make this last note real quick.
Sure.
And then we'll go from there. Okay, so
what I gather, Kimberly, you just want the image on the screen, just independently, without your camera on it. I share a picture StreamYard live, but exclude the tab and only show the image/picture that I'm sharing.
Okay, so let me just do this. Actually, I'm going to test this out real quick with her. I have a feeling. I actually think that what she's doing is sharing the entire window.
Right, that's what
sharing
I think so
the tab. So let's see if I can do this.
Let me see if she said anything else.
I think that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
So let me do this. Let's see if this works. Let me make sure I have the right image pulled up here. Okay, so let's try this. I think this will work. Let's see. Okay, while we're doing that, Leticia, if you have a comment or anything you want to bring. All right, here we go.
So I want to bring what Leo mentioned to piggyback off of Jim. He says Stream Deck has a new soundboard feature, and Jim can add himself to the camera turned off, so he can have that voice of God, I guess.
You can actually, yes.
Okay, that's a good point.
Okay, so let me go ahead and try this. Okay, so Kimberly, I think she was asking about this. Yeah. And so what she'd want to do is she'd want to do share screen, and then there's going to be so I think what she was doing is sharing the entire window. I think that's what she was doing.
Probably so, yeah.
And so if she was sharing the entire window, they're going to see the browser tab. For example, I'm going to just do this. Well, as you can see right now, you see how you're seeing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
so
yeah, they're going to see.
For example, you can see exactly what I'm doing versus if I just do, here, let me just turn this. Let me go back to this. So then if I just do share screen and share the tab, I could, for example, do something like this. This is obviously going to look a little different to you all. Let me actually stop that. Let me do this.
It's like we do our BEC show.
I got too many windows open.
I know. It's like when we do our BEC show. It's like we can only, like, we share and you see everything, the tabs, everything, versus downloading the picture and uploading it as a
like this, for example.
Yeah.
So basically what I did was I did share screen, but then I chose to share a tab versus sharing the window. When I share the window, it includes your tab and everything else that's in it. So I think that's what you're looking for. If that's not, just let me know. Put hashtag ask in the comments again, and we'll review it again.
Right.
Okay. Question about, can we do we get a virtual background? So we don't do virtual backgrounds. It's a feature request that we've gotten quite a bit. So
a lot.
I'll note it again, about having a virtual background. But we always recommend, again, if you're going to do anything with green screens, you're going to need good lighting, because a virtual background is not going to really replace everything around you. And you have to look at the setting as well. So for example, I'm in an office chair right now. And if I happen to do a virtual background, let's say I was on the beach, you're going to see my chair on the beach. That doesn't really kind of look right.
Yeah. And doesn't it take a lot on, even that, doesn't take a lot on your computer as well? Because if you want to show video clips, overlays, intros, outros, countdowns, and you got the virtual background, is it may be some glitches, in the future with all that stuff. Yeah.
You do have to keep in mind, if you're going to do anything with the green screen, you're going to need quite a bit of processing to be able to do that. And then you're going to want to make sure you have the best lighting as well, because for example, you need the lighting to key out the background. For example, you see how I move my hands and there's the shadow behind me. It's not lit correctly right now. I literally just it was last minute moving this up today, but you want to be able to move around without the shadow. And so you want a good light. And so that's going to be able to key out the background, for example, behind you if you need to.
NLT said virtual backgrounds usually look glitchy and unprofessional. I'm with you, NLT and W. I've seen a few people do their shows and it looks great, but for the most part, I'm like, can they just turn that off? Because it's distracting me with all with all the glitching that it's doing.
Definitely, yeah, no. Okay, so let me answer one more question, then let's bring up another guest. So let's see. I'm almost caught up, by the way. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a good one.
Oh, the beer ambassador. Hey, haven't seen you in a while.
Let's see. Let me see. So I believe that answers my question. Yes. So Kimberly reviews. Yes, definitely. So that's all you have to do. And again, if you have questions, you can message us. Go to the Facebook group. You can also send us direct messages as well if you need to. Okay. So who's coming up next, Leticia?
Next is Zan the Man.
Okay, Zan, give me a thumbs up if you're ready.
He was
awesome. So Zan the Man, how we doing?
Very good. How you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Okay, so what's your channel? While we're talking with you, let me pull up your channel. But what's your
channel? But I'm not going to be using this channel when I start. I'm not using.
Okay.
I'm brand new to StreamYard, obviously.
Cool.
But
okay.
I won't be using this channel. I'll send you to it right now, but I'm going to start a new channel, a dating relationship channel. But the channel I have right now is Zan the Man Smith.
Okay. Do you want me to pull it up or not?
Up to you guys. That's my personal development confidence brand channel.
Okay. So what's your question?
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna have a separate channel because I'm gonna be doing dating relationships with StreamYard.
Oh, I like that. And I like actually separating it because those are two totally different audiences, as you would say. Audiences, yeah. And
then you can cross-pollinate later if you want.
Later on, down the line, absolutely.
So I'm a certified confidence coach. I had a invite yesterday to be on someone else's channel. He does use StreamYard. I didn't know you had to use Chrome. I didn't know you could use Safari. You couldn't use Safari. So I found that out yesterday.
Yeah, no worries.
I hopped over to Chrome. Okay. And I'm going to do a 30-minute presentation on the ABCs of confidence for his audience. But I could not click on how to share my screen and my keynote. So we rescheduled for tonight, which is good because he's in another country. Right now I think it's 1 o'clock in the morning there. It's it's 10 o'clock here in Vegas. So yeah, I just want to find out. I'm glad you guys are on here because if not, I would have been searching on YouTube like how to share your screen.
That's what we're here for. Y'all got something to do tonight? We're here.
Yeah, are you guys here every Saturday?
Yes. Well, except for every second Saturday, but every Saturday, Saturday after.
So we do live stream reviews. So basically, we'll answer your questions. We'll take a look at your stream. We did that on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the second Saturday that Leticia mentioned. If you have a YouTube channel, you should stop by and check out YouTube channel reviews. Also on our channel, same exact time slot and everything. Usually the same time slot, but subscribe to the channel. And you'll get notified. But basically, Daniel Batal and Dean Emin, they go over your YouTube channel. They basically look at it for certain things, whether it's like the header, the title, thumbnails, things like that, and help you with your videos.
Perfect.
Okay, so you have a question about sharing a presentation.
On your Facebook also, so I'm on there.
Awesome, fantastic.
And you know what? By the way, I mean I know you probably know this, but you guys make a great team.
Thank you.
You guys
me and Christian are related. That's what I understand. We're related. He's my third cousin.
I can see the resemblance.
He got a little tan, a little views,
And you guys are great.
So your question was
just
Keynote.
How do I share my screen? If I
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
Let's see. Let me do this. Let me see if I have something in Keynote right now, actually. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, let me download
and let everybody know what time is your event tonight so we can log on and check you out.
Oh, I think it is. Well, it's not on my stream, it's on his stream. I think he's in the Philippines.
Okay.
And I think his stream starts at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, but I think it's 9:30 a.m. over there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's 9:30 a.m. Sunday over there.
Yeah, the day before. Yeah.
Okay, so your Keynote presentation, what's the file format? Is it a PDF? What are you saving it as?
Just slides.
Just slides? Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna just export it. For example, I'm just gonna save a PDF real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't even matter whether it's PDF, slides, or video, as long as I can share my screen because I tried to, and it's like it had me do something. What's this?
Okay, so let me share my screen here. I'll share this and we'll look at this together. Okay, I'm going to share the whole window here so you'll see the whole Keynote presentation.
Perfect.
And the reason I'm doing this is because Keynote they actually have different views, different ways of viewing things. So, okay, this is Keynote, obviously.
Yep.
So a couple things to keep in mind. Like if I just hit play right now, this is going to take over my entire screen.
Yep, that's what I do.
Okay, so what I actually do instead is I do something different. I do play in window. And the reason is because it's going to give me a separate window for that presentation. Okay.
Play in window?
Yeah, it's under the top navigation bar.
Okay.
In Keynote. Okay, so here, let me actually pull this back. So the reason I do play in window is because now, and there's not, I don't think let me see what's in this presentation. There's really nothing in this presentation. Let me put test title.
And while you're doing that, I guess is it better to use my Logitech webcam, or guess what I just got last night?
The ZV-1?
Sony ZV-1.
Okay.
So should I use this or my Logitech?
Do you have a capture card for that?
What do you mean? What's a capture card?
Gotta go to the guitar store.
Nope, that's a SD card.
This is a battery. Okay, I don't have.
Okay, hold on. Let me put Leticia. Hold on. Let me put Leticia up, and then
we're
gonna. Let me put Leticia up. You guys talk. Let me get my. let me get a capture card so you can see.
What is the capture card? I gotta go get one today.
I'm the last person to ask, child. You be getting some Tic Tacs or something and putting that in your camera, messing with me. Don't ask me for no directions or about no equipment. I don't know why he made me big.
So how's the move?
It's great. It's stressful, but great. Thank you. Because I got 5 kids, child. So
Wow.
Okay.
So you have a whole starting lineup, basketball lineup.
Yes.
You need 4 more for a baseball team.
I hope my husband's not watching.
Okay. That's 6 more for a football team.
Okay, so a couple of things. So for starters, this is a capture card.
I thought it was one of the little thing, like that you put in the cell phone for when they yeah.
Like this.
Oh
This
my
is
god.
No, this is an SD card.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That
so this
was.
is just going in your camera. This is what you're, if you're recording to, it's going to be saved onto this. Capture card though, basically it's this.
Got it.
And then the way these work. So if you're going to plug that camera directly in, you're going to need to get a capture card.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. I think it's in the box. Let's see. Here we go. Yes. Okay. So this is what the capture. So you're going to get a couple things. This is what's good. So I'm basically doing an unboxing video as well, I guess. So this is going to be an extension cable that's going to come with it. It's going to be USB-A.
Okay.
To what's that? That's actually USB-A as well, actually.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second.
But how do we know the difference
between what, A and C, or what?
Yeah, whatever you just said.
So USB-A. This is USB-A is this square model that's.
Okay, and got it.
USB-C is going to look something like this.
Because I would have called you Christian, like it's not working.
This is USB-C. So USB-C is this much smaller model.
Got it.
Here's the difference. So here I'll hold them up together. We'll see how these look.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
1 second. Okay, so that's what you're going to need. Okay, so you're going to need a capture card, and then this. So this is the capture card,
and
then basically this plugs into your computer on one end, and then on the other end it's an HDMI cable.
Okay.
I.e., the camera plugs into this.
Got it.
So, so you're going to need something like that. You don't necessarily need. So.
Oh, let
in
me
terms
go
of
on
price,
Amazon.
these are like $100. This is like $100 something, by the way.
Okay.
So Adam's Exploits also doesn't really recommend getting the cheap ones. There are cheap ones. They're like $20-$30. So this is Elgato name brand.
I get the good one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for my equipment right now.
So okay. So you're gonna need something like that to plug your camera in. That way you can use that. So I'd say this. If you can use the ZV-1, use the ZV-1. If you can't, if you don't have time to find the capture card or you can't find one, then stick your webcam. And then the other option, actually, I'll throw a third option out there, actually. What kind of smartphone do you use?
I have a 11.
Okay. So
iPhone 11.
The other option is
11 Pro.
I got another option for you, actually. And then we're going to get back to your question here as well.
That's okay. Take your time. I mean, I hope everyone in the chat is okay. Hope you guys are learning from my question.
Yeah, I learned to what was it? What is it called again, Christian? USB?
USB?
No, the card. Little
capture card.
Capture card. I gotta write this down. Let me get my notebook.
Okay, so so this is another option that you also have, Zan. So it's a tool called Re-Incubate Camo.
What?
So what it does is it allows you to use your smartphone as a webcam.
Oh my god.
So let me see. So basically, this is here. This is basically how it works. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see if that enlarges. Yeah. So this is some software. So this is a Mac OS tool, and basically the way it works is you have an app that goes on your smartphone, and then you have an app that goes on your desktop, and this will let you use your camera's smartphone. Use the camera on the smartphone.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to tap into features like zoom, like zooming in on the camera and things like that as well. So very, 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 very useful. We actually had them on an episode of Learn with StreamYard, actually. So that is Re-Incubate Camo.
Okay.
If you want to check something like that out, just if you have questions, private message me. I'm happy to
Can
answer.
I blur the background with that? Like if I was outside, I want to make the background blur.
Yes, actually, it does have that functionality.
Oh, Leticia, look out. Uh-oh.
Yes, that's it.
So
Y'all not going to see my dirty laundry in the background.
Flash in your pan, by the way. Camo is actually not just for iOS. It actually works on Android as well. So they have, it's primarily Mac. But because again, they've been developing for Mac for quite a while. But then they also have an Android version as well. I'm pretty sure
I have Android.
But check that out. And then if you decide you don't want to use Reincubate Camo, the other option you can also use as for Villa is mentioning Erie and Cam as well is another option.
Perfect.
So what I'm going to do actually right now on that, I'm going to drop a couple of links here in the chat for everybody. For those of you who want to learn more about Reincubate Camo or Erie and Cam, you can check those out. Those, by the way, those are going to be your easiest things. And then the only other thing I think I'd say, Zan, if you wanted to get, if you wanted to use your smartphone as a webcam, you're going to need a way to mount it. And so, for example, I don't know how easy these are to find, but there's like a suction cup that goes like on the back of your laptop or your computer, and it can have a mount that can hold your phone. So then that way your camera's positioned right here in front of you.
Perfect.
That's something to think about. So, okay. So back to your keynote question. And by the way, Leo Mandela, I want to thank you for mentioning also, let me go back and find it. Leo mentioned that, let me see. Play in window. He says only the last version of Keynote. Yeah, I'm using I think the latest version of Keynote.
They just came. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you could do that option, and then someone else also mentioned you could just take your presentation and put it into Canva.
Right.
Well, I've got to learn how to use Canva. But one of my ultimate goals is with Keynote is I'm going to be creating some online courses next month. Okay. So I want to be able to toss it in there. And anytime someone asks me to come on a virtual stage, I can just grab my Keynote, throw it in there, and just. So and I know a little bit more about Keynote than I do Canva.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a PowerPoint person. So even though we have Canva, I have to use. I'm just used to using PowerPoint.
Yeah, and also as the world reopens up, it just fits better with your laptop and everything else.
That's true.
So, but again, I don't know all the features of Canva. Maybe Canva might be better than Keynote, but I know I'm comfortable with Keynote. So
they're both good products. Actually, I use them for both. So, for example, if I did, I opened my presentation in Keynote, I then hit play from the top menu bar and said play in window.
Okay.
And I think if you're running that version of Keynote, use play in window, and then this is what that's going to look like.
Okay.
And now all I have to do is, for example, there's only one slide. Here, let me actually make a duplicate of this. Let me see. I'm gonna just we'll just say like
3 duplicates.
Do what?
That's what Action Cam. Oh, Coffee Talking Tech. That's John. He's in there. What's up, John?
Yeah, he said he loves your channel. He said we love Zan. He said it earlier when you came on.
Yeah, John is amazing. Jeff.
So what I would do, I'd make my presentation in Keynote, obviously get it ready, play in window.
Okay.
And then in StreamYard, all you have to do is hit the share button at the bottom, select share window, and you're going to pop up the Keynote application. It'll look something like this.
I did that yesterday. Something else popped up.
And then all I have to do, it's open a separate window. I can just, for example, I can just thumb through this, and there you go. There's 3 different slides that I put in.
Right, but when I did that, yes, I hit share, but there was another little note saying I had to change something in my settings, I think.
You should. I mean, for the most part, it's as long as you're sharing a window, that should be all you have to do.
Right. Okay. If you have other tabs open, you want to close them because you don't want it to show as well, like where you click one tab by mistake or something.
Okay.
I know for me, sometimes I do that.
Share this.
The entire process that Christian just mentioned, I kind of went through that whole process. I hit share, but it wouldn't let me. There was another little pop-up that said something in error. That something in my settings.
Okay.
So the only way that I think that could be happening is if you've got something on your browser, maybe that's that's prohibiting that from happening.
Okay.
Because it literally is just like here. Let me see if I can share. Well, Leticia, if there are any good comments or anything coming up, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of rooting for Zan in your show today. Bear Ambassador is something about. Hold on, he said, "I'm not finding the right camo on Play Store. Any help?"
So you need to go through their website. Actually, go through the Reincubate Camo app. It's reincubate.com/camo.
Go to the website, Bear Ambassador,
and then there's an option that says other platforms, and you should be able to find it there. And I think you have to go through. You may have to just go through their site. to get something like that. Let's see. So, okay, so let me go ahead and show this as well to you as well. So, okay, I'm going to share my entire window so you can see.
Okay.
This. So basically what I've done is, so I'll walk you through this. I'm in StreamYard. I click on share at the bottom. It's going to bring up this prompt, for example, that you're going to see. And then in this case, I'm going to select, you see this one right here?
Perfect.
I'm going to select that. And then what that's going to do is that's going to be sharing that keynote presentation. And then when I hit share, that's going to show up inside the StreamYard dashboard.
Yeah. After I hit share, it didn't go to the next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. If you get try the same exact instructions I did.
Okay.
If you get stuck, just do me a favor. Send me just send me a screenshot.
Okay.
And say, hey, this is where this is what I'm seeing.
Okay. What do I send it? What do I send?
Just private message me. That's fine.
Okay.
Pretty much any platform, like Facebook's fine. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm coming back I'm coming back every Saturday morning.
Awesome. Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Dan.
And guys, thanks in the chat also. Nice comments. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Very cool. Man, this is awesome. I gotta say, I love chatting with you all and trying to.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so let's see if there's any questions. So Omar Sutton Fitness is asking, do you recommend streaming content of interest other than what your channel is based around?
It depends. It just depends on what that is. You know what I mean? Obviously the channels that have all different types of things going on don't really get so much, leadway because it's too much going on, So yeah, I always say it depends. What do you think, Christian?
I think it's going to depend on what your channel is about. So for example, if you are your own brand and you've been positioning yourself as I do this, and this, if they're related, sure. But if you're trying to stream multiple different things, I'd recommend having different channels for that.
Right. So I give you an example. I follow a girl. She's a beauty blogger. So she does makeup. She does hair. She does health and wellness. All that fits under that, beauty umbrella. So that's what I'm saying. It always depends. Like what you were saying, Christian. It's just, if it's so many different things, it's not going to make sense.
Yeah, you have to look at you have to really look at who your audience is, who you're trying to reach. Because remember, if you're trying to reach if you're talking cooking on your channel, for example, and you all of a sudden then jump to unrelated tech or fixing cars, for example, there's no correlation necessarily there. But if you're going to hey, I'm talking cooking and I'm also talking cooking gadgets.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Mixers and frying pans and things like that. Then that would make sense. But if I'm going, I'm also going to talk cars on this, you might as well have two different channels because
cooking and what's the difference between Stop and Shop and Passmark? Right. What's the difference between BJ's and Costco's? That all falls under that umbrella. Yeah.
So you're going to want to probably have two different channels for that.
Right.
Let's see. So Cassandra's asking, where do I find my RTMP user URL on my website, which is Wix? So I'm not sure if Wix, I actually haven't looked this up.
I think WordPress has it, but I don't know about Wix.
Yeah, I actually haven't worked with Wix. I usually don't use Wix.
Yeah, I don't know about
Wix. I'd see if there is an art. So Wix. So just because something may offer streaming, they may not offer RTMP as an option. Right. I don't know the answer to that one, Cassandra, only because I've not actually looked into Wix for streaming. So you want to actually? Oh, good. She's actually. Can I jump?
Let's jump. Let's
jump
the line.
Bring her up. Okay, so I'm going to bring her up, and then Andrew. I think Andrew's going to be next, right?
Andrew's after.
Okay,
Cassandra cool. Then.
Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up Cassandra. I'm going to bring it on screen. Cassandra, how you doing? And then Andrew. I think Andrew's going to be next, right?
Andrew's after. Okay. Close one of your tabs.
Bring up Cassandra. Or mute. Yeah. Screen. Cassandra, how you doing?
And then Andrew's going to be next, right? Yeah, you have us open on another tab.
Excellent.
Okay, hold on. There it is.
I closed it. You have us open on another tab.
Okay, hold on. There it is. There you go. Sorry.
No worries. Okay.
Yeah, I was on Facebook and everything. I'm trying to. I have a 24-hour telethon coming up next week, so I got like a couple of things I'm trying to squeeze out real quick. So thank you for taking it in. So you say you think that Wix has the way for me to link, because I can link 8. So I'm trying to link one of my 8 to my Wix, to my 2 Wix websites.
Right.
Okay, so walk me through what I've got, what you're looking at, what we're doing.
I want to stream live from my 8 channels on Wednesday to my Wix So
okay. Oh, okay. So I'll just throw out an idea. Have you thought about like taking your main site, for example, let's say it's like YouTube, and embedding that YouTube live on your website?
I have the YouTube live on my website as well, and I'm going to YouTube as well. So I was trying, because I have 8 ways to do it. So I was just trying to get as many streams as possible.
Right.
So, So what I was thinking though is like taking the embed code from YouTube and then over on Wix, putting that in as like embedding the YouTube live into the website. And the reason for that is this. So if somebody is streaming to YouTube, and I'm like, let's say Leticia is following you through YouTube. So she's watching on YouTube, but then let's say I only know you through your website. I might come across your video that you've embedded. And if I watch your video on your website, it's going to count towards my views as well on YouTube.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to embed him. Okay, that's what I'll do. Okay.
I try embedding one of the platforms.
I like to do that better.
Wix, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Like you literally just click the 3 dots or click the share option. There should be an embed option. And you may have to enable embedding on your YouTube video. Just double check that.
Okay.
It's usually in the settings. So you go to the YouTube channel, there's an edit video option, and you may have to scroll down. There's a more section, and they may make you turn on the embedding option. So,
and now one more question.
Yeah, sure.
I found when I go to share screen and show video, that video sometimes runs a little slow. But if I run it on and then if I run it on QuickTime and then go to share and then show that one, it runs easy. So my question is, with this live telethon, would you suggest me doing the share my screen with the live video, or go to the separate tab?
How long is your well, I think the first question I would ask is how long is your telethon, and then how good is your internet?
Telethon is 24 hours. Internet is amazing.
Okay.
And I'm through Ether, so I'm plugged in
through Ethernet, and you're on a Mac. Another little tip, by the way, too. I would turn off the Wi-Fi on your Mac.
Okay.
If you're hardwired, hardwire, make sure it works. Turn off the Wi-Fi, make sure it works, because some people, they'll leave the Wi-Fi on and have Ethernet, and it actually could actually slow things down.
Okay.
So that's something to consider. If it were me, I would go through. I would actually. So you're using the share video feature, right?
Right. And the only reason why is because before I was putting them in the background, and then when they would pop up, you still see us behind. So I'm trying to make the show a little more classier this year. So so it's in a separate screen. But I've noticed that when I pull it from there, but with videos, it takes up the whole screen.
Right.
Comes in the middle. But this one particular artist's video is too large for me to put in my video in my backgrounds.
So Leticia, what do you advise?
I think, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, since you mentioned that you have all these connections, I mean, you're going live for a long time. So it's like the room for errors will, sort of increase. But yeah.
Well, this is my second year. So, and I turned off all the Wi-Fi for all the other things to make sure I'm not pulling and that stuff. So I was just trying to implement the share screen to possibly, and even there, because I was trying to do it with the pictures, but then I couldn't really do it. So the pictures are still going to do that. So if I was able to do that, but if it's going to require me to run slow, then I'll just do it the way I've been doing it.
Right. And do you have an extra laptop too, or a computer to where, because I know for me personally, I have a really good laptop, but again, streaming for a long time, it can make it overheat or what have you. So if you could switch from one computer to the next.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I have three. Yeah, so I have the other one up, but just closed, so it's ready to go, and then I have another one. So but here's my last question. I promise. When I'm up, when I have both computers up, but I only come into one room, right? So I can do everything from that one screen. I don't have to have to come into another. I don't need to use the other computer to share the screen, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. So I think I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna keep coming back. I got one more Saturday with you guys before.
Yes, let us know how it went.
Yo, check it out. You guys come back, come on through, and check it out. And I'm gonna keep listening. I got a rehearsal. I got everybody doing a test show today. So I just wanted to check with you guys before we go there. And thank you.
You're welcome.
What I would do is I would say this: if you're gonna kind of split up the duties between the laptops, I'd use the one as my main machine.
Right.
For the second one, I would bring the file up from that computer, and then have them. I mean, again, remember they can both log into the broadcast, so you log into both.
Okay.
And then this one's the primary one I'm on. I could have this other one where I'm strictly just playing the video, and I would do that. That's actually what I would do.
Okay, so that second one I mute, so I'm not getting the feedback. I mute the second one. Okay, so I could, because I can have up to 10 on screen. There it is. So,
and then plug in headphones into that other one that have no mic. I mean, here's the thing: if you're just doing a share, here's the thing: if you're just doing a share video, so you're using the share feature at the bottom, you shouldn't have anything come in terms of the mic being open, because all you're doing is sharing the video from that one machine and bringing it into the main broadcast.
Right.
But if you happen to have that camera open as well, I would recommend always muting it. If you need to plug in headphones into that laptop, preferably ones that don't have a mic, or if you have an old pair, you can always plug them in, cut the cord. Reason is because even though you turn the volume down, it doesn't always mute the mic. And that's by design on the phones and the laptops. So
y'all just gave me 5 other things I thought about, but now I know how to do.
Awesome.
So mute this one. Got it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't want to take up everybody's time. Thank you, and I'll be back. And I'll be
welcome.
Anytime.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.
All
Bye.
right. So now
that was good.
Okay, so let me see what else. I want to thank everybody, but everybody's joining. I want to thank you all for watching and
we appreciate
all the
this.
feedback you guys are giving us, and
also please go and hit that like button, because it helps us out so much. So just smack the like button for us over here on YouTube.
And let's see what else we got. Okay, so let's see, who are we bringing up next?
Andrew.
Andrew, you ready?
He's born ready.
How we doing, Andrew?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
So what can we help you with?
All right. So I do a weekly live stream on YouTube. It's called Bowling with the Fef. The premise is
I love bowling.
Yeah, so do I. And I've been competitive bowling for more than 30 years. Back in pre-pandemic, my work sent me to VidCon in Anaheim.
Okay.
And, saw a bunch of speakers. Everybody was talking about live streaming this, live streaming that.
Okay.
I am a former local TV anchor, reporter, newsroom manager.
Cool.
So I thought to myself, geez, I can do that. I just need to get the technology, and here we go. So I started, gathering the gear, experimenting with platforms. StreamYard has been my go-to, just because of ease of use and reliability. And as I was kind of picking up steam for this, I mean, bowling was just, it's my thing. So I figured, man, I know how to interview people. I feel comfortable on camera. Why don't I, let them tell me their unique story through live video online? And that's what I've been doing. Just kind of a pretty basic interview format, basic setup with, I use a Canon T7i with the Canon utility for live streaming. Got a condenser mic, audio interface on a Mac laptop.
Got it. Okay.
So I started doing it, and every show I have my guest challenge somebody else. So kind of the web gets, bigger and bigger, and things are going good. So I did it for 30 weeks. and no stopping in sight. However, these last two, I had kind of circumstances come up that were kind of out of my control, and left me with a quick decision to make. Okay, do I can the show and reschedule? Do I do something else? Here's what happened. So this was about 3 weeks ago. I had a show scheduled, ready to go, promoted, the whole deal. And then I get home from work an hour before showtime, and the internet's out. We have an internet outage.
Okay.
So what I did was, I contacted him via phone. Hey, internet's out. If this outage continues, nothing changes at showtime, I'll give you a call. We'll reschedule. Okay. And that's what I ended up doing. And that show has since been pushed out just because of things he had come up, things I had come up. We're going to do it this Sunday night. But it was initially scheduled 2.5 weeks ago. So earlier in the week, I had another show scheduled, and the guest had something come up and wasn't in a position to connect at showtime. So we rescheduled, and that one's going to air next Wednesday. So my question is, I guess, what would you recommend for a situation like that where either guest or internet connection becomes essentially unavailable right at the last minute?
Right. I have a show that I do called Sister Connection, and we're actually going to pre-record that show. We do it as seasons, so now we're in season 3. It just became like the timing, you know what I mean? Her and I both are moms, so it's hard to, and we all have different life things going on. Okay. So that's something that's going to be pre-recorded, and then we're just going to upload it onto StreamYard as like a video file. But you ever think about that? Probably pre-recording it?
I do. I kind of like the live element.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm also kind of fishing for people to ask questions of my guests. And I like to have those questions come in, have the guest respond, just because there's an interactivity,
Well, definitely you could post and say, hey, I'm about to have this special guest on my show in a couple of weeks. This is what they do. Like, if you want to shoot some questions in the comments, like, for example, that's what I did in my group before we came on for today's show, is ask them, what do y'all want us to talk about? And that way you can bring those up during the pre-recording when you do pre-record your show. Yeah,
that's true.
In terms of internet, I think one thing is, and Leticia, I don't know if you're actually connected. I think you're on a hotspot today, right?
Yes.
So if your internet goes down, hotspot could be an option. And I'd recommend testing something like that, see like how well it actually performs.
I'm using the hotspot from my phone. I'm using the hotspot from my phone.
And the advice I gave Leticia was, for example, let's test it out a little bit beforehand, and then let's also consider, like, if she doesn't get really good service, then maybe consider lowering the quality she's streaming at. So then that way you at least have potentially a backup. Now, there are also obviously more expensive options you can go with, like getting a second line, there's a backpack that's sold as well, that's designed for, not necessarily tethering from a phone, but it's good quality internet. Those though are much more expensive. So I'd say for the internet issue, that's what I'd use as my backup in the off chance that something happened. In terms of guests, like having to cancel and things like that, I think for me, part of that comes down to being very deliberate about who I have on. Like, life happens. People realize that. So if you do have to cancel things like that, I wouldn't let it get to me as much as it may seem like it's probably going to bother somebody. Like, oh, hey, the guest doesn't show up, or the guest cancels last minute. Sometimes just do it on your own.
That's right. Doing it on your own. Or if you have people that, for example, I was on a Christian show because one of his guests canceled. So it's like, you can have different people you may have. Eventually you will have those people that will jump and say, okay, sure, I'll fill in for that person. Oh,
I think I'm actually wondering if his internet actually just went out.
His internet went out.
Let's see. Hopefully he comes back on.
I hope so.
While we're waiting for him to come back on, by the way, Oh, here he goes. Let's see. There we go. There we go.
Sorry about that.
Does your internet go out, or was
no? It's I'm on an iPhone. Forgot to press do not disturb and all that stuff.
No worries.
You got a phone call.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say was also, and Leticia, you made a really good point about this. Try to build up a network of backup people as well. So, for example, if you've got a co-host, nothing wrong with just you and the co-host doing something. You know,
right?
And it's obviously a little bit easier if it's very topic focused. You want to make sure you have the right guest on, but sometimes you may have maybe develop a sort of a filler in the off chance that happens. It doesn't have to be something elaborate, but that way it's not at if somebody cancels on you, you at least have somebody to potentially work with.
Sure.
The other thing is, again, going back to life happens. So if something happens, your guest has to cancel, okay, hey guys, just a heads up. Sorry, we had to cancel 2 weeks in a row. Family emergency. People are going to understand.
Yeah.
And then jump right back into
they will.
So what I was going to say is after the second one happened, I decided I'm going to go on stream live to Facebook. So because I have a Facebook group, so I can get the notification to everybody that I'm going live. Okay, people, here's what happened. Again, life happens. Here's the 2 separate circumstances. Yeah. Obviously, I would have loved to, for it to go off without a hitch. It didn't, but here's when I'm planning to do these, in the future. Hope you can join us then.
I really see your show being like this, where you have a co-host. Maybe you can find a permanent co-host, and then y'all are how we're doing on this show, how we bring you on as a guest and we're talking to you. We're both interviewing you and what have you. So at least if the guest cancels, you and your co-host can still run the show. Y'all can still, me and Christian already have topics. Even if we only have 2 guests on, we still have a topic to talk about. So think about that as well. Doing co-host based shows are great nowadays. People love that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. And I've had that suggested to me a couple times, just by the lay people. And I have one other question for you. The other, thing that I've had people bring up to me is, everybody calls this a podcast, and I suppose it's in a podcast format, although it's video. But I've actually had, someone say, hey, why don't you convert this to a podcast instead of doing it in the video format? And I absolutely can. I guess
you could do both.
Okay.
That's actually what I do for
one of my shows. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we do the lives. So the way I usually work, I do a live stream. So I live stream the video, and then what I essentially do is when it's finished, I have the audio. I then add on the intro, the outro, and then I package that and push that out as a podcast. It goes out. Sometimes it's I do this video, and then sometimes after it's the audio might come immediately after. Sometimes it's a month later. It really depends on how far in the schedule I am. I use both mediums. So
okay,
yeah.
Excellent.
But then and make sure obviously if you're doing a video with somebody, remind them, hey guys, thanks if you're tuning in, if you're watching us live, blah 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 blah. If you happen to be listening to the podcast, we aired this show on whatever the date was. This was the topic we talked about, and so forth, something like that. So,
yeah, cool.
Awesome.
No, I've seen people do their show as a live and then upload it as a live, and then also upload just the voice and just have a picture of the guest and the person on it. It's just you're sort of cutting it up and you're changing up how your audience can inject your content.
Sure. I guess my fear from that is, okay, I have this pool of people who are going to consume this show. If I put it to 2 different platforms, am I then dividing that pool in half and not getting full benefit on one or the other?
You're giving us more options to take in your content. That's all you're doing. Okay. It's not you overgurgitating, being over excessive. No, because to be quite honest, me during the morning, I'm listening to stuff. I'm not looking at videos. During the evening, I'm looking at videos. So basically, I can still enjoy you and not have to look at you, but I can listen. I can have my Bluetooth on, walk around the house, and just listen to your show and enjoy it.
Sure.
So that's all it is.
And just one last point I want to make, again, going back to kind of what Leticia said, you have to also look at like where your audience is going to be tuning in from. So for example, how much extra work is it to put out a podcast episode? It's actually not.
Nope.
It was if like, I have to do like a lot of heavy editing, things like that. But the great thing about live streaming is that, people can see all the things that happen. If there's a mess up or something like that, they see all that stuff live. Yeah. From a podcasting side, not everybody's going to, like, you also have to look at it like now. So, people are going to watch video, but there's going to be people that are just going to listen to audio. And so you're kind of hitting them in two different spots. You're saying, okay, I'm going to get, you're not really dividing it. Like you're dividing it if you're like, hey, I'm going to like simulcast like 5 of the same channel, for example, about the same topic. But because I'm saying, well, hey, I'm putting one video and one audio option out there, people can go and pick and say, okay, if I want to listen to the podcast, for example, maybe I'm on a drive, it's easier to listen to the podcast as opposed to watching the video.
Yes,
so,
it's changing it up. I'm gonna use a pizza example. So I'm using a lot of examples today. It's like a pizza place doesn't just give you the pie; they got to cut it up. You know what I mean? Yep. Like they're not going to think you're going to take the whole pie and eat it like that. You're like, no, you want to cut it up into 8 slices so that everybody can eat. So that's all you're doing. You just cutting your stuff up so we all can eat.
Although I'll tell you what, that would be a great Saturday if I could just take the pizza home.
That's a mic drop.
Hope this helps. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. We're here to help.
Yeah. Yes. It certainly does, and thank you for doing this. I've seen the show a couple times, really enjoyed it, and kudos to both of you for what you're doing.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. Bye.
Bye.
Very cool.
I like that example.
I'm gonna go through a couple more comments here. We got a couple more guests we're gonna bring up. Kamal Tech Vlog is asking, is it better to attach the mic to the camera or the system while streaming using an audio deck? So.
I can't answer that.
I personally, I like to have, for example, my mic is separate from my camera. So my camera's here, my mic is here. And so they're actually separate. I'm not running my mic into my camera. It's running through, in this case, an audio mixer. And then that's running directly into my computer. So, personally, I also tend to attach things separately because if you're plugging it into a camera, what can happen is if you've got the wrong cable, for example, sometimes the cameras, depending on the camera you're using, they can run hot. Hot not mean necessarily temperature wise. I mean hot in the sense of the audio is hot. And so there's too much gain coming in. For example, some of the cameras, they will introduce noise into your feed because of the fact that you're wired into the camera with the audio. So I personally like to keep things separate. That's what I typically do. Let's see. But lots of awesome feedback here. Judith, thanks a lot for tuning in from Nevis. I'm not sure where Nevis is.
No.
I want to thank you for joining us.
I'm going to look that up.
Fravilla, let me see what we can do about this. I'll make a note of this about, let me see if what we can do about that, about doing a live stream reviews, maybe in Spanish. I don't know if that's going to be like a subtitle thing or something else, but
that'd be cool. I'm teaching my kids Spanish, so that'd be cool. Christian, do the little show in Spanish, bilingual.
Okay, so I'm going to take one more question here, and then we got 2 guests here. So Norwood Ventures asking, going live on mobile, I can share videos, but will there be the ability to share on the screen, share screen on the phone? So I think that's an iOS limitation, actually. Again, you also have to remember, like, we're sort of like it's part of the API access that you're given. So, it's why, for example, when you go to stream, for example, into a Facebook group, you have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook because otherwise we wouldn't see who you are. And that's because Facebook requires that sort of thing. So in terms of screen sharing on the phone, I'll make a note of it. But I'll put it in as a feature request. So, Leticia, okay. So who's coming up next?
Bruce is up next.
Awesome. So go and bring on Bruce and let's
kick
things off.
Hi,
Bruce, thanks for being patient and for joining us.
Thank you.
Actually, I think I've been watching your show since the very first or second episode you were doing together.
Awesome. How are we doing, by the way?
Great.
How are we doing? We're doing good.
Thank you.
Love you too. You're a great pair. So, going back to I think it was Jim's question beginning. about, I don't know, maybe it was the access question was, I think when I first logged into StreamYard, it asked for permissions to share my screen. So there might be something in your system preferences that you may have to say, allow StreamYard access to your computer.
Good point.
But I know you're also web-based, so that may not be it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that is one thing like to always check. Yeah, like so inside of Chrome, for example, sometimes I don't know. Do they do? I can't remember if they do this after every update they do, but I know sometimes they'll make you like re-authenticate from time to time.
It does that with me sometimes, yeah. Especially if I log out, since I log into 2 different accounts, StreamYard accounts. If I go back to my original account, it will ask me, not every time, but sometimes. Is it telling you to do it every time, Bruce?
No, it was only the one time in the very, very beginning. And I've been on StreamYard for over a year now, so I may have forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think it could just be an update. Sometimes they'll run an update and make you go back in. But the other thing also that can sometimes happen, I think, is like if it's not sticking, sometimes you just need to restart your computer and restart the browser. For example, I mean, I'll admit it, I don't really quit Chrome very often. I keep too many tabs open. But yeah, so you may have to go in and do that and to try to get it to like stick. So
I do have a question. It's kind of a feature.
Yeah, what's up?
So I do produce a number of shows for my clients, and sometimes I'll want to be in the background with my voice only. I don't want to be on screen. I know I can, if there's only one person on a screen, I can solo them and they can be on overlaid and I can be in the background talking.
Yeah.
But is that possible having 2 people where both of you could be on screen and have me in the background just talking? I know it's not available right now.
So I think actually the way you can accomplish this, I think if the 2 of you log into the same account. So for example, Leticia, Leticia and I, for example, are here. Let me actually go in and turn this off. So Leticia, I'm going to turn, or Leticia, stop your camera and I'm going to stop mine. So Leticia, so she's still talking and I'm going to stop mine. Leticia.
Okay. I can still, you hear me?
Does that work, Bruce? Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Well, actually with 2 people on.
Yeah,
so have 2 people as a conversation. So go back to where Leticia, or was just me and you?
Yes, add you and Christian on.
Because I've done this before where I've had the solo person.
Yeah.
And have the other 2 in the background.
So this is me and you, Christian, talk.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yes, but are you logged into the same account, or are you logged in as a guest?
We're in the same account. Me and Christian and I are in the same account.
Okay.
So, Leticia, actually, I can. Bruce, go ahead and turn your camera off. Let's see if yours works. So go ahead, Bruce.
Talk, Bruce.
Okay, so I'm still talking.
Yeah, I hear him.
So we can hear you. And then I can turn my camera back on and now say something.
Okay, so if I'm still talking, so it's just a matter of turning the camera off. I got it.
Yes.
So I don't come up as a icon
Correct.
with my profile picture then.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So, and that's because, so there's a couple of options here. Let me go ahead and turn your camera back on. And then I'll show you all how I did that. That's what you're looking for, right?
That's what. Yep. Perfect.
Okay. Cool. So let's go. Let me share my screen real quick here, and you'll see how this works. So, let's see if I got the right one. There we go. Okay. So for those of you watching, that was called Voice of God, or so you'll have it called Voice of. And Bruce, feel free to correct me on this. Voice of God. Sometimes it's called Wizard of Oz. Sometimes it's called just talking over a live stream. Master of ceremony,
maybe just I'm a producer, so whatever I say goes.
So here I am. Okay, so this was how I did exactly what I just did. So I'm in the stream here. I'm going to go ahead and mute this. You guys can't hear. There's no feedback there. So basically, what I did here was, for starters, if I, for example, just hit stop mic right here. So as you can see, I'm not in the stream anymore. Put that back in. So what I basically did, Bruce, was I went into the share option at the bottom. I went to general, and then I unchecked the audio avatars.
Okay.
So if I have this checked, what's going to happen is if I check it, for example, let me see if this does it. Yeah. So at that point, it's going to create this, which is essentially the audio avatar. Okay. Now, if I go to cam mic and I go to general and I uncheck that, it's going to say you're in the stream with audio only. So basically, if I have that on, and then for example, in this case, I stopped my camera, I'm still in the stream. For example, I could put it back on, but if I stop it, I'm still in the stream. I'm able to talk. So you follow that?
Yes.
Cool. So that's how that works. And then obviously, as you can see, that worked with both Leticia and I both being logged into the same account. And then also, obviously, it worked for me as well. Sorry, for you, when you were in as a guest, I just have to turn it on for that broadcast. So I go to cam mic, general, and then there's an audio avatars option. I just uncheck it and then turn my camera off. And then now I'm able to talk over top of everybody and they can't see me.
Excellent.
Cool.
That works. And then one other question is, I know you've got the share screen and share video, which you can do simultaneously.
Okay.
Can you share two separate screens at the same time without using two computers?
So no.
So if I go to share, okay.
Right. So if you do share and you do share screen, it's going to let you share one item. The only way you'd essentially be able to do something like that would be if you had a second monitor and you did share window and then you had stuff open basically.
Well, with my shows, I actually have two computers running. So I've got basically the comments showing up on one computer and then all my branded stuff showing up on another computer.
Yeah.
And I'm switching back and forth so I can actually, because sometimes I have a guest on who wants to share like 3 different websites.
Right.
And I love to queue those up ahead of time so I'm not searching for those during the show.
So I actually have a tip for you. Let me show you this.
And that's what we're here for, tips.
Okay. So you remember how I was talking about Canva, right?
Yep.
I'm going to show you guys how I did this. So this is pretty neat. This is something I've actually started doing for my own show. And so basically I've gone into Canva. Here, let me show you this. Okay. So let me grab a URL actually here. So what you're going to see here, you're going to see my Canva dashboard, for example. Okay. So what I essentially have done here is, sorry, for those of you tuning in, Bruce is wanting to know, like, how can you easily share like websites and things like that, right? Like without having multiple, like having to stop screen share, start screen share, and so forth. So what I've actually done for this is I've gone to Canva. I've created a separate presentation, just a blank presentation. And then there's an option here. So I'm going to just, like, let's say it's this is the background, right? You're like, well, how do I share a website through this? So Canva has an option. If I go to embeds, I can actually paste a URL. So I'm going to paste, we'll start with one URL. I'm going to just paste the StreamYard website. But in this case, this is actually going to pull up like whatever that little snippet is that I was going to share. Okay. Now what's cool about this is you can also, so what I basically do is I queue all these up and then I share one presentation and everything is essentially in that view. Does that make sense, Bruce?
Yes.
So for example, if I want to share the giveaway tool, let's see what shows up. So this is probably showing this because I'm not authenticated. I'm not logged in. But what I can do is I can do things like this. For example, this is a live tweet, for example, that is up there. So it's pulling essentially that snapshot of that website. So everything essentially is in one presentation. And now when I actually do present and I bring this into StreamYard, so let me actually do that real quick for you guys. So for example, this would be inside of StreamYard. And as you can see, I can, there's a couple of things that it can click through. I can use my arrows to like navigate through those slides that we were talking about. Does this make sense?
Yep.
So that's my tip for you to do something like that, to make it easy to share multiple sites, put it all into one presentation. It's literally just pulling a URL and then share that one item in StreamYard.
Got it.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. And then before I go on, it's shout out to Eileen, who's really turned the chat on fire.
Oh, cool.
So hi, Eileen.
Very cool. Thank you, Eileen.
Thanks, Eileen.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Bruce. We appreciate you joining us.
Good. Bye.
Bye. So let's see if there are any other comments here, and then we're going to bring on.
We have a feature request. They want F. Revelia said,
yes.
Please increase the size of the GIST presentation. Yes. Okay. Skimming through here.
That one. Let's see. Our radio is asking how to get a longer countdown. So let me actually find this.
Mm-hmm.
So in the StreamYard, in the comments, actually, I just dropped a link to a Google Drive file, and we actually have a bunch of. So if you want a longer countdown timer, you essentially would want to design your own, or we actually have some StreamYard branded ones that we've dropped in the comments. We didn't just want to like put them in the. Let me find your comment real quick. We didn't want to just like put them in your dashboard. And so what I did was I dropped a link to that in the comments, and I'll do it again. Actually, I think it's this. Try that. I think that'll work. Let's see.
Yeah, check that one out.
That might be too long, actually. That link.
Yes, it's very long.
Let me
it's not
get the right,
it's not
let me get the right URL actually.
Yeah.
So basically, what that is that's a link to a whole bunch of assets that we provide to you all. So if you're, if you want to get access to some overlays and background files and countdown timers that we've made at StreamYard for you, you can check those out there. Let me see. So check these out. There you go. Okay, what else? Let's go and bring on our guest, Leticia.
Yes. So this our last guest for today. Her name is Kelly. All right, Kelly, you can just come off mute. And we're adding you on now.
Hey, how you doing, Kelly?
Hello, hi. Hi, Christine. Hi, Leticia.
Hi.
Okay, hi.
So what question do we have? Yeah, what can we help you with?
Okay, actually, first, I am a fan of Leticia. I will laugh big when I hear the sharing from Leticia. And then I always make my Sunday morning. Actually, I'm from Malaysia. Now it's 2 a.m.
Wow.
My love was still asleep. That's why my
y'all don't want to see me at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, 2 a.m. I will make my day with you all. And then I also ask one of the giveaway lah from Leticia. And then my since 2020 I always build a lot of video tutorial to help teachers improve IT skill in education. I'm a teacher actually. And then since I suffering my carpal tunnel syndrome, I have under surgery too. Then since 2020, I start using StreamYard as my production platform. So I I did not need to repair my video. I just go live with StreamYard.
Yeah.
Then after a few live, and then June 2021, I organized a live show.
Yes.
After a few live show, I feel this run sheet was very necessary in my StreamYard platform. And then I just use Google Slide as my run sheet. And then so my question is, can you also guide me how to build a good run sheet, or maybe StreamYard will have this function in StreamYard dashboard?
Okay, so in terms of building a run of show or run sheet, so did you check out the blog post that we have?
Yes, I have read that.
So there's a template as well, and there should be a template in there. So I'd start there, and then in terms of like, I mean, it's going to vary from show to show. Like I'll make a note of the feature request, by the way, which is to have a run of show inside the StreamYard dashboard.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Let me just make a note. So I'll make a note of that while we're talking. 1 second.
Just like Jim as well. Just as Jim said that just time, when the run sheet have in dashboard is really good for StreamYard dashboard.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. Yeah, and then the other, I'll give you a tip here. So what a lot of people will also do if they have a run sheet, what they'll do in their prep is they will actually add them as banners.
Yes.
So like, for example, you could go into the banner section of StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could actually write, like, what some people do is they'll go in and they'll make sections for their banners, for example. And so like, it could just be, one could just say run of show, do not show. It might look something like this.
Yeah. And also always keep in mind that you would definitely need a different run of show or run sheet for a guest, or if you have a co-host, or if you're doing the show by yourself. So I would encourage you guys, like, don't wait for StreamYard to actually build this. Like, start making your own now. And then if that feature does open up, you can use it. Because the thing is, I find, like, as StreamYard opens up more features, which is going to be a lot that's going to come out very soon, you guys should already have a way to use that, you know, that rather than just having it and not using it at all. So you can leverage all the features that StreamYard provides.
Yeah, I just use Google Keep and Google Slide for.
Yeah, I use that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an option. I mean, but here's what I was going to show you. So this is basically inside the dashboard, and what some people do is they'll do this. Basically, they'll go in and they'll say, okay, like, this is a section. We'll call this like a run of show, for example, and then this might be again, these are notes to help you. So there might be like, you know, bring on Leticia, 30 seconds. Then you might add overlay, title slide with cue music, for example. People might do this kind of stuff ahead of time so that they know. So then it's easier for you to just drag and drop your stuff. And then, like, let's say there's another section, they might say, well, this might be banners, for example. Or sorry, we'll call it like lower thirds. They might do something like this, and then they know, okay, so I've got, here's where my lower thirds are going to go. Here's my run of show. So they kind of section things off. And yet none of this would actually show up during your live stream. Does that make sense? So that way you basically can keep the stuff visually there in front of you. I mean, personally, I like to use a shared document, but that's only because then I could, if Leticia and I were working through the run of show, we both can go in the document at the same time.
Right.
And make that change in real time. But that's a way that a lot of people are using the banners, for example, for the run of show for each production, because you can have different folders as well for the banners. So that way, if you're going from like, one production to the next, you could have one production that's got everything built, and then you can go to the next one, and like, you basically can, you can duplicate that folder as well. So if you need to like quickly just copy stuff, you could just duplicate it. Does that help?
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Oh, anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you very much. And thanks for the feeture request, actually. So
yes.
I made notes about all of those. Those are very, very, very helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. Get some sleep. It's 2 a.m.
Okay, bye.
Wow, 2 a.m.
So I want to answer a couple quick questions here, by the way.
Sure.
So Aisha Holmes was asking, she's trying to share a screen to capture a PowerPoint presentation. Each time she switches to the app window, the PowerPoint doesn't show up. So that's actually a PowerPoint setting. And if Charles Matthews, if you're watching, because I've seen you in the chat a little bit, there is a PowerPoint setting that she needs to adjust, Aisha. So you basically would just go into, like, I can't remember the exact name of it. It's in the presentation option. So it might be under window or tools, I think, in PowerPoint, but there's a menu. And if you go in there to pull up the option, and there will be an option that will say, bring the PowerPoint out as a separate item. It's not necessarily just bring it out as a separate item. It changes the way the presentation is shown, because basically the way it works right now is that, it's going to, of course, take over everything, or you're not going to see it. And that also is a presentation option. Like, you can have it where the presenter doesn't see it at all. So, I would actually, Leticia, you actually have it? Oh, good.
Yeah, I have it pulled up because I use PowerPoint a lot.
So let's see your screen real quick.
And I just pulled this up. This is just a regular template.
Go to, let's see if we can find it. So let's click on file first. Let's see. trying to think which one it is. So it's not file.
But here's what I do. I will click. I will share it. Click on it, and then I will go here. I will go to slideshow, and then I will click on from beginning, and it pops up like that.
Okay. Let's exit out of that real quick.
Okay, let's do that.
She's saying it doesn't come up. Actually, it doesn't show up. I have a feeling it's showing up in another window. There is the option for setup slideshow as well. Let's see what's under there.
Where is that at?
Next tab. Next.
Oh, right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So presented by speaker. Okay, so this actually might be it. So setup show presented by speaker, full screen, browse an individual window, browse kiosk. Let's see, just disabled. There. Okay, there is the option on the right as well that says use presenter view on the right. On the bottom right. So there's the presenter view that's
on this screen.
Yeah, on the bottom right corner. Use presenter view.
Use presenter view.
Under resolution. It's at the bottom of that. Literally at the bottom on the right hand side. There you go, next to the checkbox.
Oh, right here. Okay.
That might be an option to play with. But there is, I believe it's that show type setting there at the top.
Right here, one of these.
Yeah, and I think what's happening is it's just being overtaken by things.
Right, right. I don't want to change my settings because mine is working. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to
basically what we did went to setup slide.
And going back to, kind of like what, and going back to this whole PowerPoint setup, again, there are also other options as well. So you aren't just relegated to using PowerPoint. So you could use Google Chrome. You could use Google, what do you call it? You could use Google, for example. So Google Drive. If you've got Canva, you can upload your presentation into there as well. Things that are going to be also a little less resource intensive. The other thing also you could do is you could just drag your presentation, drag it into your StreamYard dashboard, for example, into like a browser tab and share that browser there as well. So that could be an option. By the way, I want to thank Favilla for this great comment. I'm like a Swiss Army knife. I appreciate that.
I saw that. That's so cute.
But I hope that answers your question, Aisha. Let's see. So with that, what I want to do is we're gonna do a
giveaway.
Giveaway. Yeah. Leticia, you know what? Actually, I don't have the giveaway slide. Oops. What are we gonna give away today, Leticia?
Let's do a pillow.
Pillow. Okay, perfect. Let me
get y'all a nice pillow on your little patio and stuff,
Okay, so we're gonna give away a pillow. And let me show you guys what this pillow looks like. This is the pillow.
It's a good pillow, guys.
And all you have to do to enter, very, very, very simple. Just go to StreamYard.com all you have to do to enter is just put in #LoveStreamYard, actually.
What?
Sorry about that. I was getting ahead of myself, actually. So if all you have to do is go to in the comments, just put in #LoveStreamYard. So, if you want to enter the giveaway,
I'm putting my entry in too. Awesome, guys. Yeah, put #LoveStreamYard
in the comments. Again, you'll have to do it once. And then what I want to do real quick is I want to show you guys this. So we have the StreamYard giveaway tool. And it's available to everyone who's using StreamYard. So you could be on the free plan, the paid plan. Just go to StreamYard.com/giveaway. And you'll get access to the same tool. And basically, here, let me actually show you the regular version. Here, let me actually show you how this works. So as you guys as you all are entering the contest, just put in #LoveStreamYard. And it's going to look something like this. So this is the giveaway tool. You go to StreamYard.com/giveaway. And it's going to look just like this. And you're going to have access to this tool. You can run it yourself. And all you have to do to set up your own giveaway is a separate website. So basically, you start your live stream, but any of your broadcast, for example, in this case, this is the one we're doing now. And we just say, this is the, for example, it could be a word, it could be a hashtag, it could be #LoveStreamYard, for example. We say, start collecting comments. And then what you're going to do is you're going to then see that other screen that I showed you. It looks just like this. Okay, there we go. It looks just like this. And basically, these are the entries that we have. And then now, like, let's see if the comments are still going, Leticia.
Yeah, I think they are. Awesome.
Okay, so we'll give you guys just a couple of seconds here more, and then we're gonna end. We're gonna run the giveaway, but just put in Love StreamYard in the
hashtag Love StreamYard.
And again, this could be like in our case, we're using a hashtag, but it could just be a keyword. But put in hashtag Love StreamYard. You can enter, and then we'll pull a winner here in a second. So Leticia, you tell me when you're ready. We can pull a winner.
Okay, let's wait like 10 more seconds.
10 more seconds. Okay.
Do they have to take into consideration caps? Like if it's lowercase, uppercase, does it have to be the same exact way that yours?
The cap shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. All right, let's run it.
Okay. So basically, this is how easy it is. So all we have to do is now click draw. And as you can see, it's going to take every single person who's entered. You can also redraw if you actually need to. So there's a draw option again if you need to, but let's see who wins. Omnivox Clasher.
Omnivox Clasher. Let me find them.
There we go.
Congratulations. Cool. Oh, there you go. Congratulations. You see how it slows down and you think it's going to be somebody else and then it just bam.
So Omnivox Clasher, all you need to do to claim your StreamYard pillow is email marketing@streamyard.com. And then in the subject, put giveaway on live stream reviews.
Bam.
So email marketing@streamyard.com, put the subject giveaway on live stream reviews. And then all I need to do to get this out to you is I need to get your information. So I need to get your address. And then I think that's all. Actually, in that case, that's all I need is just your address because it's a pillow.
Right.
You can get that out to you. So just email marketing@streamyard.com. Congratulations on that. Let me see if there's any more questions here.
Yes, and before we end, guys, hit that like button, hit that, and when y'all get merch, take a picture of it and do a hashtag stream.
Love StreamYard.
Love StreamYard. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So we can see it on your social media channels.
Yes.
Okay, so Leticia, when's our next show, by the way?
Well, next week is the 4th of July, guys. So we're not going to be on next week, but the next show is actually, let me just check my calendar one more time. We're going to be on again on the no.
Actually, sorry. No. It's going to be YouTube channel reviews, actually.
Yeah, so we're going to be back on the 17th, so y'all not going to see us for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so next week you're going to get YouTube channel reviews, I believe, July 10th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same exact place here on the StreamYard YouTube channel. And then the next live stream reviews will be July 17th. So, in the meantime, I would encourage you to, again, like, let's work on your live streams. What do you need help with? Like, how often are you going live, for example? Are you just getting started? Are you already on your live stream journey? Again, think about that. Bring your questions to the next show.
Right.
But with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And yeah, Zan, the man, yes, the 17th is like, yes, forever. Yes.
You got it. Yeah, y'all got to. Yes. It's a long time.
And this is good. Be like 2 feet taller by then. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm Christian Kirshevich and joined by Leticia Campbell. And I want to thank you for watching live stream reviews by StreamYard. Again, keep going live. And remember, we want to help you level up your lives. So bring your questions. And, we love sharing tips and tricks and, helping you solve some of those challenges that you may have when streaming. But thank you a lot, everyone. We'll see you all on the 17th of July at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.